3 reasons why I do not invest in Bitcoin, much less any other type of cryptocurrency, whether it be Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin, you name it. Because I've been getting this question a lot from you guys lately, because you're following guys like Graham Stephan or Tech Lead or Jeremy from Financial Education, and they're totally on the crypto bandwagon, like rah rah, yeah, buy crypto, this is the future, you got to have a position in it, you got to have a stake in it. And I get all that, but you guys are asking me personally if I invest in it, and I'm going to give you my 3 reasons why personally I do not invest in it. Okay, and I'm probably one of the few content creators on YouTube that will admit that I don't hold any positions in cryptocurrency, and I've got some pretty valid reasons why. Okay, whether you agree or disagree, right? And I say this as somebody who is financially successful. In case you're new to my channel, I have to say that, right, to give my little street cred here, because I don't want you to think like, oh, this guy is just chilling in his car. It's like, actually, I'm traveling right now, by the way. So, and I got this question literally 3 times today. So I'm like, I'm just going to go ahead and bang this coaching video out so we can be done with this conversation, and you guys could stop asking me, right? So, again, if you're new to my channel, financially, I've done well for myself. I am a self-made multi-millionaire, and currently I have 2 YouTube channels and approximately close to about 300K subscribers. We get millions of views. I've ventured out into other businesses now, and buying other websites that produce cash flow, and now we're just like growing and growing. And so that is where a lot of my time is spent. And this ties into why I don't buy crypto, by the way. But let's just crack into this, okay? So the very first reason I do not buy cryptocurrency is because I invest in companies and not currencies, okay? It's very important you understand this. I invest in companies and not currency, okay? Think about crypto, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin. These are not companies, okay? This is a currency. And not only that, it doesn't produce anything of value. It doesn't produce a product or a service as a company would, right? So already, this is a huge problem for me. And I do understand the fact that guys are like, well, you know what? This is the future. People are going to be using crypto everywhere, and you're going to be left behind, old man. And it's like, okay, I get that argument. However, you don't have a crystal ball. You don't know that. And with the craziness that's happened the last couple of years with the Roni and the lockdowns and everything else, we still don't know what's going to happen, right? I mean, I don't even know 10 years from now we're still going to be using, the current monetary system we're using now. We just don't know, right? What if somebody comes up with something newer, something better? We don't know. And then crypto goes to zero. We just don't know. So when you're buying crypto, you're really speculating, right? You're just really gambling on the fact that the next person who comes along will pay you more for the coin that you bought. You feel me? So really, I mean, it's not much different than going to, the craps table and trying to roll 7s. It's not much different than getting involved with Forex. The thing about Bitcoin too is it's not even tangible. So it's not like you could hold your Bitcoin in your hand and put it in your pocket and like go into a 7-Eleven and buy something with it, right? You can't even see it. I mean, it's really this is a virtual item, if you want to call it that, that's really locked in a computer. So yeah, that poses some red flags for me as an investor, right? Is it the fact that they don't really, it's not a company, it doesn't produce a product or a service that can be improved upon, that customers can rave about, that that can compete against other companies. I mean, really, it's just a coin at the end of the day. And like I said, it really is just a speculation as the sun is starting to come down. Hopefully you can still see me. But it's really, you're just buying into a speculation, right? And you might be 100% sure, like, this is totally going to be the path and the way we transact currency in the future. You might be totally sure of that in your heart, but again, you don't know. You're not a fortune teller, right? You're really just gambling at the end of the day. I mean, For me, the way I look at it is not much different than buying lottery tickets. It's not. I mean, you're just really betting on the fact that it's just going to grow in popularity. I mean, you've seen the volatility already with Bitcoin. I mean, you have these insane fluctuations, right? Just these crazy fluctuations in price depending on how the media covers it. Right? Depending on how the media covers it, if it's being hyped up at the time or if it's being downplayed at the time, that seems to affect the price a lot. But at the end of the day, I mean, regardless, my first reason for not investing in Bitcoin is it is not a company, it is a currency. Okay, and I only invest in companies. And not only that, when I invest in a company, I only invest in companies that pay a dividend, right? A company that has cash flow, enough cash flow, and enough belief in itself to pay its investors a dividend. So every quarter or every month, depending on the stock, I get a sweet check, right? I get a sweet check just for being invested in that company, right? And one of my top paying dividend stocks right now is paying me close to 10% in interest, right? That's insane. It's a little risky, but it's still, it's paying me up to 10%, right? It's I think it's like 9.7 or 9.9, pretty high for being invested in this company, and it's going to continue to pay me that every quarter, basically every 3 months, right? I'm getting this sweet check just for being invested in that company. And that company, because I've done my research, it's not going to go anywhere, right? They're not going to go anywhere soon. The dividend is going to continue being paid out, right? So long as they don't cut it. And if they do cut it, just guess what? I could just jump off that stock and get involved in another one. None of my stocks have these insane fluctuations where one day it's like, way up here, and then the next day it's way down there. No, I mean, I would not be able to sleep at night if that was going on. So that's my first reason. And the second reason, which I've kind of touched upon when it comes to me investing in a company, expecting a dividend in return. Bitcoin does not pay you a dividend for being invested in it. It's not going to send you a check every month or every quarter just for holding it, right? Really, you're just holding it in hopes that it rises in the future, in hopes that the market adopts this currency and accepts it as the norm, as the status quo now, and it just goes mainstream, right? You're really betting on that fact. And like I said, a lot of hardcore Bitcoin guys they're totally just both feet in. And I can understand that, right? I mean, yeah, the excitement's pretty fun. I get excited seeing guys excited about Bitcoin just because it's like, wow, this is new, this is funny, this is interesting. However, as an investor, somebody who invests strategically, I don't take dumb gambles, right? I didn't get rich being stupid or taking dumb risk. I got rich and successful by taking strategic risk, right? I take strategic risk. So the fact that Bitcoin does not pay a dividend for holding it, I mean, it's just kind of a waste for me. I mean, for me, I used to gamble a lot back in the day, and now I still go to Vegas, and I still do pretty well. For me, I'd rather take that 10 grand and just go gamble. I'd rather go to a casino because I'm still way ahead than I've ever been as far as being a gambler goes. But if I'm going to gamble on anything, it's not going to be Bitcoin. Right? There are other gambles out there. There are other things out there I'd rather gamble on that would intrigue me a lot more, would interest me a lot more, would be a lot more fun for me than just buying this cryptocurrency, leaving my money there and crossing my fingers and waiting for it to go up or down, or getting freaked out whenever something crazy in the market happens, or it gets hit with some bad news and then not being able to sleep at night, which is kind of like another reason in itself why I don't like investing in like crazy volatile, I can't even call it a stock. I was about to call it a stock. Crazy volatile investments is because you tend to lose sleep at night, right? And I have like I've said, I have a business to run, right? I'm an entrepreneur. I look for other cash flowing businesses at this point that I can get involved in, that I can invest in, or that I could straight out purchase. That is where most of my time is spent. I do not want to spend my time looking at the Bitcoin price daily or freaking out about it weekly. I just rather not, right? And I understand, like, you get guys like Kevin O'Leary and stuff like that, or guys who have like billions who can just throw like, a couple $100,000 at it, or not even that. Like, you could just throw like, I don't know, $1,000 at it, and you just want to let it sit there. Hey, if you want to do that, fine. That's fine. I mean, if that's what floats your boat, do it. But for me personally, just my personality, that does not work for me. Okay, because just my personality is I would want to check the stock, just even for the fun of it, right? I don't care. If I could throw 10 grand at it, it's not going to bother me. I could throw 50 grand at it, it's not going to bother me if I lose it. It's fine. But I don't want to watch it, right? I don't want to be caught up in the hype or the news, because if I were to invest in Bitcoin, that would happen just because that's my personality. I would be like, oh my God, it's up today. Even though, I already have money, it's not going to change my life any bit, but I don't want to be distracted by it. Okay, so that's a big reason right there. It's like, my time is better spent investing in companies and looking for companies that I can either invest in or purchase outright, right? That are going to produce a healthy cash flow every month for me, or a dividend payment every month or every quarter for me, right? I look for those types of investments, that are tangible, right? That don't have these insane fluctuations in the market, that allow me to sleep at night, and also don't distract my attention away from my main goals or my main businesses constantly, right? And that's something Bitcoin, I've seen guys who invest in Bitcoin, even, I run an entrepreneurs group in Santa Monica. We have 1,500 members, and a good number of those guys are invested in Bitcoin, not because they need the money, just for fun, right? They're like, oh man, this is hilarious. It's like, you should just throw like 10 grand in. Why not, right? 10 grand's not going to bother you. It's not going to, make you poor. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not the money. It gets to a point where it'll get to a point where when you are doing well financially, it becomes about your time. It's not even about the money. So for me, it is about the time. It's about me keeping my focus on where I'm getting the most value for my time, right? And obviously, like I said, I get the most value from investing in real companies and actual stocks that produce a dividend that aren't going anywhere anytime soon. I don't have to speculate about that company going out of business tomorrow, right? Like some of the companies I'm invested in, they're blue chip, right? So they've been around 100 years. They're not going anywhere tomorrow. And even if they were, you would be able to see from a great distance that they're in trouble, right? Or they have bad management or anything like that. Whereas with crypto, it could be all wiped out like that within days. You just don't know, right? Within days, if somebody comes out with something better, like, oh, crypto's old school. I remember back in the day, everybody thought Facebook was like basically gonna be the future. Every generation out there is gonna be like all about Facebook, and nothing else better is gonna come around. And guess what? Now, I have like teenage nieces who are like, oh, only old people are on Facebook, right? And before Facebook, it was MySpace. Everyone's like, MySpace is the future. MySpace is the future. And look what happened to MySpace, right? So I kind of see crypto in that same way. It's just too much of a gamble, too much of a speculation, too much of a risk, and beyond that, too much of a distraction. The last thing I need in my life right now are more distractions, right? That is the last thing I'm looking for, more distractions. If I'm going to be distracted by anything, it's going to be from healthy companies that are producing a product or a service of value that I want to get, that I want to invest in, that I see a future with, that I see a customer base with, right? They already have a growing customer base or a loyal customer base that they can build upon. Those are the companies I invest in. Those are the companies that I will outright purchase, right? If it's within my range of affordability, I will do it. Whereas with cryptocurrency, you can't, because again, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, these are just really gambles at the end of the day, speculations. That's all they are. Okay? No matter how much in your heart you believe it's going to be the future. You might be right. But then again, the Cowboys could win the Super Bowl in the next 5 years. Right? I might be right? I don't know that, though, and I'm not going to put money on it. Because I don't want to have to be watching the Cowboys for the next 5 years going, is this the year I get that money back? No, I just rather not, right? It's just too much of a mental distraction for me, to the point I don't need it. And you'll notice most people who are successful investors, yeah, they don't, they don't, they don't buy stuff like that. I mean, if you look at the statistics, people get rich slow. They don't get rich fast. So whenever some overnight, thing comes along, like, and I'm not saying Bitcoin is overnight, but I mean, it's fairly new, right? It's not something that's been around 100 years. It's something that's been around, what, a decade? So it's fairly new in that regard. You just don't know, right? And you just don't know. And from what I've seen just throughout my life, people who've gotten rich fast have always lost it. Okay, and statistically, stats will back me up on that. People who've gotten rich fast have always lost it. All right, which before I jump into my third most important point about why I don't invest in crypto, I need to make this point as well, is that when you buy Bitcoin and you're trying to get rich from it, you're not learning a skill, right? It's not teaching you anything to buy Bitcoin. All you're doing is buying the coin and holding it, right? That's not a skill. But when you are buying into companies, doing your research, seeing just kind of like peering into their history and their historical data as far as their financial charts, and really learning how to pick these solid companies, you're really teaching yourself a skill. Especially once you get into entrepreneurship, like me, and you buy other businesses, you're developing this priceless skill that no matter what happens to you, you ever go broke one day, you lose all your money, you could get right back up and get that money right back. I've always said, like, you could strip me naked of everything I have, leave me in the middle of the street, and within 6 months, probably not even that, I'll be right back, right? I'll be right back. I could pick myself up. Why? Because I've learned the skill. I learned the skill how to spot opportunities. I have the skill of how to make money now, with virtually no money involved, without much investment, really. I mean, I could start a website for less than $100, and I could probably like replace my income that I have now within the year or two, right? So it's a skill set you learn from being a proper investor, okay? From researching companies that you want to invest in, because your money's at stake. But when you just buy Bitcoin because you saw the price fluctuation on Google, you saw it going up, and you saw the news, like, everybody's raving about it, that's not really a skill. Selling Bitcoin because it went up, another couple of thousand, that's not a skill. Okay, you're not really learning about companies or anything. You're just buying and selling this commodity. That's all it is at the end of the day. Okay, which brings me to my third and final reason why I don't invest in Bitcoin or any type of cryptocurrency. This is probably one of the most important reasons, is because of how emotional I see people get whenever you say anything negative about Bitcoin, right? Whenever you say anything negative about Bitcoin, it'll probably happen in this YouTube video as well, right? Whenever you say anything negative about Bitcoin and investing in Bitcoin, people freak out, right? People get angry. People have to just spam the comments, and they'll attack you personally, right? They'll be like, oh, it's because you're too old, you don't know anything. Oh, you're not that good of an investor. I don't care how much money you have. Yeah, I'm a better investor, even though I'm broke and living in my mom's basement, right? They get so emotional over this new thing, right? And the times I see anybody get emotional over an investment is because, number one, they don't have any money to begin with, right? They're looking for a get-rich-quick scheme. It's kind of like Amway. You guys ever see these network marketing, what do they call them? Network marketing things where it's like a pyramid scheme, which essentially Bitcoin is, if you think about it. I mean, Bitcoin really is a pyramid scheme, because you're getting people at the bottom, who got in early, who got it cheap, and you're trying to sell it to people at the top, right? Who are coming in when it's peaking, and you're trying to dump it all on them, and then they're going to try to do the same thing. Right, so I've never seen anybody who's actually rich, wealthy, or successful financially get emotional about an investment. It's usually people who are broke, don't have a pot to piss in, and don't really have much financial education, but they can talk a big game, right? Talk a big game. This is a future. I know it. You're stupid. It's like, dude, you're living paycheck to paycheck, dude. You have 220s to rub together. What are you talking about, right? But they've kind of narcissistically convinced themselves that they're just the most brilliant person on the earth because they found this new investment that they think is going to change the world. I mean, it's no different than snake oil sale. I mean, it's like snake oil to me, right? Because people get excited about that, and if you say anything negative about it or anything, fairly critical, they just lose their minds. They freak out. And again, you'll probably see in the comments below, like, "Oh, and stick to pickup, you dumbass. You know what you're talking about. Stupid PUA. You don't know anything," right? I'm sure they'll do it because I'm not on board with Bitcoin, right? I'm not saying that it can't be the future. It might be, and you might be right. But however, like I said, it's not a skill set. Buying and selling crypto is not a skill set. At the end of the day, it really is a get-rich-quick scheme, right? I'm saying it. It's really about get-rich-quick, or you just want to, or gambling, right? You just want to make some quick money. I mean, that's not a skill set. When I go play, the tables in Vegas, I don't consider that a skill set, even though it kind of is, right? You kind of have to get good with how you bet and whatnot. I mean, even gambling's more of a skill set than buying, like going to the tables is more of a skill set than buying Bitcoin itself. But I see where a lot of people, and this is another thing, most of the people I see really, really just hedging their bets on Bitcoin are people who are struggling financially, people who are kind of like coping with life, they're not thriving, and people who don't have a whole lot of money in their bank accounts. They might have some, but they don't have a whole lot. They're not what you would consider like rich or anything by any means. They're just resting their hopes that Bitcoin will take them from here to here. And you know what we call that? A get-rich-quick scheme. Okay? Call it a get-rich-quick scheme. Because at the end of the day, what does Bitcoin produce? Nothing. Right? If you go to these network marketing events where they're selling Amway and whatnot, what do they produce? Nothing. They're just buying like toothpaste and soap and selling it to some other poor sucker at a higher price. How is that any different? What skill set are you learning from doing that? You're not. Okay, so that third reason, just the emotional attachment to people who are invested in Bitcoin and how angry and upset they get and how just like triggered they get when you say anything against it, is a huge red flag to me. Okay, it's a huge red flag when it comes to investing, because if you were to take a shot at any of the stocks I'm holding right now, any of the dividend stocks I'm holding, and you said, that company, stupid, they're going under. Oh, crappy management. Oh, look at their balance sheet, sucks. Ooh, only a bonehead would invest in that company. I would not care. I wouldn't get emotional over it. I'd be like, you've got some points, right? Yeah, maybe they are kind of boneheaded now. Maybe it's time to look at something else. My emotions are never, okay, let me make this clear. My emotions are never, ever, ever, ever attached to any investment that I involve myself with financially. There is no emotional attachment in ever. If you take a shot at any company I'm invested in, I am never going to get triggered over it. I don't care, right? Because for me, it's just business. And for me, at the end of the day, I look at the returns and I'm like, okay, this has provided a healthy return. And I've had some stocks that are losers. So obviously, I mean, if somebody attacked the ones that are losers, I would say, yeah, that one was a loser. I don't know, time to get on another one. But it looked good at one point in time. It doesn't look good now. But my emotions wouldn't get so heavily triggered where I start attacking the person like, oh, stupid dude. Look at the shirt, bro. Look at the shirt. Okay, look at the shirt. Oh, your hair? Need a haircut, man. Need a haircut, dude. How do you know about investing? You don't even have a good haircut. That once you start going there, huge red flag, right? Huge red flag. Because guys that I know, and I know of several millionaires at this point, especially in my entrepreneurs group alone, guys who are making $1 million per month, they're kicking my ass. I mean, and this is my group, right? These guys are doing $1 million per month. They never get like emotionally triggered by any of their investments, right? If someone is saying something good or someone's saying something bad, it doesn't matter to them, because all it is an investment. Whereas you talk to guys who are invested in crypto, right? Not all, but a lot of them, right? If you say anything negative about crypto, oh, stupid, man. You obviously can't see the future. Oh, you don't know. Oh, you didn't do your research. Oh, yeah, I got you on this. And it's like, yeah, you still don't know how that's going to play out. And even if it plays out in your favor and you become rich because the price of crypto went up and you've made millions in the future, right? at that point, you have to know when to sell, right? And that's the thing I see about guys with crypto is because they don't have a sound financial strategy, right? That's why they're getting involved in crypto in the first place. They don't have a business they're involved in. They don't really have much in their bank yet. Maybe they're young, you know? I mean, I would have done it too. If I was like in my 20s, I'd be all on the crypto bandwagon, and I would probably be getting upset too if somebody said anything negative about it, because that's the only lane I see right now, right? I talk about this in my AlphaMaleSecrets program. Brain and lane, right? Brain and lane. If your brain, in order for you to feel confident about your future, your brain has to see a lane to success. And for a lot of guys, especially younger guys, this is what they see as a lane to success. But I'm telling you now, as somebody who's older, somebody who's a risk taker, somebody who's a gambler, somebody who was like, who has invested for the last 3 decades, I will tell you that that's what it is. It's a gamble, you know, and you're not learning a skill set. And at the end of the day, for a lot of these guys who make a whole crap load of money from crypto, like one moment, you notice, like I remember when crypto was like totally just exploding at one point, you saw all these people on YouTube running their crypto ad, bragging about their, you know, their crypto wallet and like their Bitcoin wallet, I should say. And like, this is how much Bitcoin I have. Oh, I'm worth $3 million. And then all of a sudden when Bitcoin tanked, right? Remember when Bitcoin tanked around the time of the pandemic started? These guys all disappeared. All of them. I didn't see a single crypto commercial ever. I mean, since then, really, I haven't seen a single one. But they are all on that bandwagon. And that is what makes me nervous, is like when there is just, something is all hype, right? And for me, as an investor, it's just something that I don't want to get involved with personally, just because of A, the hype, B, the emotional overreaction you get from people who are involved in Bitcoin, who just will lash out at you if you say you're not on board or you don't believe in it, or you rather invest in real companies and not currency. And also just a distraction, right? The fact that it's just too distracting for, you know, at least for my personality. I mean, if that works for your personality, great, but you're not me and I'm not you, right? My personality is I need to be focused on what provides me the most value, the most return on investment, and the most predictable return on investment. It doesn't mean I can't have fun and, you know, put some money into something that's kind of a gamble. I do that with dividend stocks, right? I've picked some dividend stocks that pay 11, 12, 13% dividend on my money. To me, that's what I rather gamble on, right? And so a lot of times these companies go bust or they can't pay the dividend anymore, which is funny, but you know, sometimes they do, right? Sometimes they do, and it's just a fun bet, right? But most of these companies are not going to disappear tomorrow. They're not going to drop in value like that overnight. They're not going to have these wild swings in fluctuation like Bitcoin does. So those are the companies I'd rather be invested in, and not a currency, especially a currency that you can't even hold in your hand, you can't even touch. It's really locked in a computer that you know, if you lose your password even, you can no longer access it. You know, so those are my 3 reasons, guys, why I personally do not buy Bitcoin or any other type of cryptocurrency. Those are, I mean, it just doesn't work for me or my lifestyle or my investing strategy. Just doesn't work for me. And if I want to gamble, I'd just rather go to the tables at Vegas. I do pretty well and gamble that way, which I do, right? I have my fun there. I get to gamble. It's quick. It's fast. I either make money or I lose money, and I don't have to think about it. I don't have to think about it after I leave the tables. I'm like, oh, crap, I lost. Or, oh, cool, I won, right? I don't have to think about it beyond that, right? Whereas with Bitcoin, when you lose big, it's going to bother you. When it fluctuates, it's going to bother you. You're going to have to watch that price. You're going to constantly be logging into Google and checking what the price is, or Coinbase, or whatever app you're using. You're going to be constantly like, oh, where is it today? Where is it? And all of that distraction is taking away, right? It's taking away from your ability to focus on something that is more sustainable, right? Like learning a skill, learning how to properly invest in companies that produce a product or a service that offers value to customers. Hey, Bitcoin does not produce anything. They're not a company, they're a currency, okay? It's not investment, it's a speculation. You're just speculating, you're gambling. You're hoping when you buy this Bitcoin at this price that somebody will come along tomorrow, the next day, or somewhere in the future and pay you more than what you paid for it. Right? Kind of a pyramid scheme, right? Those are my thoughts, guys. That's how I look at it. Right? And again, these are just my personal opinions. You don't have to listen to me. These are just my personal opinions. And I respect yours. I mean, if you're heavily into Bitcoin and you got your reasons for it, it fits your lifestyle, great. I respect you for that. That's fine. I'm not going to get triggered over that, right? I don't care. That's you. You want to invest in it, that's fine. I'm not going to tell you not to, and I'm not going to tell you to do it. You got to do what's right for you. But these are my reasons why I don't do it. Okay? Not to mention, it's kind of a pain in the ass to sign up, get your digital wallet, and then hold these coins. That's another thing. You have to hold these coins, protect your password. I mean, this is some serious babysitting to me, right? I don't like to babysit my investments. I mean, my investments right now are spread out through a few brokerage firms, and I don't really look at them, right? I look at them every once in a while when I log in, but I don't look at them daily, maybe once a month, if that, once every 3 months. I don't really pay attention to them. It's not really money that if I lost it all, it's going to affect me. But then again, it just, it's not taking away from me mentally, right? It's not distracting me constantly, where I'm constantly checking the stock price. Oh my gosh, it went up $20,000. Oh my gosh, it's down 30,000. Oh, should I buy more? I got to buy more. It's like you get just caught up in too much of the excitement of it. No different than snake oil, guys. No different than snake oil. And there are just too many red flags when it comes to crypto that do not work for my lifestyle. So those are my thoughts. Those are my top three reasons why I don't invest in Bitcoin, crypto, Dogecoin, Litecoin, whatever. But if Graham Stephan, tech lead, and Jeremy from Financial Education wants to invest in it, great. Maybe that fits our lifestyle. It just does not fit mine. So drop your comments below, guys. Let me know what you think of crypto. If you're invested in it, what are your reasons for it? Let me know. Try to keep it respectful in the comments, because again, when you overreact over this and you get all start spamming the comments about, and start throwing out the ad hominems and the personal attacks, you're just making my case, right? You're just making my case, because any sound investment that you feel is a sound investment and you feel you made the right decision, you're not going to get triggered by it. You're not going to get emotional about it. You're not going to care if somebody has something negative to say about it, right? You just won't care. You just won't care. Kind of like when people take shots at me for my DeLorean. Bought that old DeLorean. Oh, should have bought the Lambo or the Ferrari. Should have bought that old DeLorean. It's like, dude, since I bought my DeLorean, I've already gotten offers. I'm not even kidding. I bought that car, less than 2 years ago. Less than 2 years ago. And I've already gotten offers for over $20,000 what I paid for that car. Over $20K in less than 2 years. And as I always say, that's the reason I'm rich and you're broke, right? If you make comments like that, right? People don't understand. It's like, dude, when it comes to investing, I like to invest in things that I like. So some guys might argue well, that investment, you kind of have to babysit at the DeLorean. It's like, well, yes and no, but to me, it's a fun investment because I'm a car enthusiast. I love cars. So I'm going to keep buying cars that I like, that I've dreamed about since childhood, because these are, these give me joy. It gives me fulfillment. Holding Bitcoin is not going to provide the same fulfillment for me as driving a DeLorean around and, seeing kids get all excited and people take photos at the gas station and just want to start 30-minute conversations with me about it. That's never going to happen through Bitcoin, right? Much less does it really happen through owning a Lambo or Ferrari. I had a Ferrari at one point when in my 20s, and it didn't really get that type of reaction. So you have to invest in things that work for you. And if that's Bitcoin, then great, right? Great. But I just want to lay out my reasons why personally I don't do it. And, if it makes sense to you, drop your comments below. As always, this is Matt Cross from AlphaMaleSecrets. I'm signing out here from my hotel room in Vegas. Got a spectacular view here. Can't get enough of this. Gonna be here for the month, filming content, taking a few private coaching students out onto the strip, doing some pickup, doing some game, and obviously continuing to work, grind, and enjoy life, right? Enjoy Vegas. You only live once. So don't forget to smash that like button below. Go ahead and smash it right now. Also, hit that notification bell right next to it so that you are notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on the YouTube. More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a ton when you actually subscribe to my channel. It tells YouTube that you're loving my content, you're digging it, and you want me to produce more of it. So make sure sub to my channel as well. And for all of you guys who want to support my work and my content and all of this red pill, gold pill, platinum pill, and awesome pill that I'm teaching you even further, the best way to do that is by becoming a premium subscriber of my premium Alpha Male Secrets channel, which I'm hosting on a private platform away from YouTube. And the reason why I'm doing that is to protect my content from YouTube in the event they try to shut me down one day. They won't be able to, because all of my premium Alpha Male Secrets content will be protected on a private platform, and I am paying for that platform, so nobody could ever take us down, right? And that is the absolute best way to support my work, is by becoming a premium subscriber of my premium Alpha Male Secrets channel. And it's real easy to get signed up. All you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website, where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds, so do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video. I love waking up to this, guys. It's actually about 6 a.m. in the morning, and heading off to the hotel gym here to do my workout. That's why I'm in my workout gear right now. But yeah, it's pretty early, and I like to get started early on my day and get out to the strip before other people get out there. But got a great view here. I usually stay way back there at the Venetian, but everything is pretty booked up this month for some odd reason. So everything's like really booked up, and this was actually a last minute trip to Vegas, and I was fortunate enough to get this room. I have pretty good status here in Vegas. I have like diamond VIP status, so I could get a room pretty much guaranteed to me whenever I want to come out. And it usually has a pretty decent view. This is not bad. I've had better views, but this is not, I mean, especially for last minute and Vegas being booked, I'm pretty happy, right? And it looks good on camera, so I'd like to share it with you guys as well. In case you've never been to Vegas, try to share as much of it with you as possible while we bang out these coaching videos. Until next time.